So for now, you guys are sailing northbound from the workshops of Alde. You're heading north in the Sea of Eldamar. All right, so everybody's at a level 14. Everybody's done a long rest. That means spell slots, hit dice, full hit points, all of that. Loman is back in elf form. So I want to just briefly go through each character and tell you sort of what you're feeling at this moment. Like Alsay mentions like this sort of terminal feeling that he has, and each of you are kind of feeling the same thing in the pit of your stomach. So more Loman, you feel something you have not felt in millennia, and that's the feeling of openness that you only felt in the void. Vernon, do you want to read your vision to everybody? It's also under miscellaneous.
Vernon sees a bright light, and the following visions appear in his mind. He sees the darkness and then light. He can taste and smell the familiar scent of rock and stone. He can see the halls of Khazad-dûm and the spires of Miramir. He sees an elf extending a ring as a gift. He sees the creature of his nightmares, the Balrog of fire and of malice. He sees the iron hills of Dane, king under the mountain. He sees Balin and Gildor, and each member of this party. And suddenly the vision ceases.
All right.
That's pretty ominous.
Anybody have a theory about that?
He's gonna die.
Could very well be him.
Seeing a bunch of dead people?
Probably not. Knowing how many hit points he has.
You're gonna die, bro.
Tessero notices that his cloak has taken on a deeper silver and green hue in various places. Faraday's sword whispers to you about Girthang, about how he will give you a few hints that Girthang is the eater of blades, and that he is. You get the sense that he's kind of like the scourge of humanity. That his blade does more than just cut. But it's specifically the eater of blades, and he says the eater of blades and protection. Let's see here. The next person on the list. Let's go to Riken. So Riken, you guys are starting to worry about Riken. Riken is actually he's starting to cough more.
Yeah.
And the smoke is actually becoming more pungent on the trip. Okay. Okrin.
That's about right.
Okrin begins. Okrin has been around humanity for so long that he's actually lost a lot of his Maiar, sort of immortality power. And he starts to feel, the more time he spends in the Blessed Realm, the stronger he feels. The closer you get to Valinor, the stronger you feel.
And my hair is shinier.
And as Zelindor, you feel the immense power, the immense burning power of the Silmaril that you have in your possession. Mm-hmm. You realize that probably no one else in the company could carry it.
Is anyone else?
Possibly one other person, but you wouldn't know that because he's human, right? You assume that he couldn't carry it because of the limpe that he drank.
Oh, that's right. Yes. All right.
Maybe he has spilled the beans on that. All right, and so as you travel, it is the middle of the night, and the bright star that you see, that is as Galadriel once said, our most beloved star, no longer shines in the sky, and the moon is extinguished, which is concerning. All right, guys, I'm going to move you to a new map. So something interesting happens.
What?
I moved you to a new map. Let's see if you can tell me what's interesting about this picture.
Oh, we're standing in Evil Breath?
Yeah, freaking purple haze, man.
I am going to cantrip that.
So
the starfish?
you try to cantrip it. So Vic, you try to cantrip it, and nobody has to roll anything right now because you're just noticing it's just spreading out. But you notice the source.
Is it bear?
Is it there?
Raken.
It's Riken.
Oh,
Yeah, he's in the middle of it.
Can I control it?
It's coming out of your mouth.
Oh, that's too bad.
Oh man.
Dude,
I'll
watch
do
your
that.
teeth.
Ooh.
It's not affecting you.
But I can't control
You
it?
can't control it.
Can I press to digitate his mouth?
You can, but it
make
keeps
it more minty?
it keeps coming out.
I did not.
It keeps coming out.
We'll just walk over here, guys.
Do we have a bag of holding? You can breathe in that.
Oh my god, I can't control it. I can't control it.
What happens if he closes his mouth?
So
The
the
brown bag of food.
the closer you guys get, so you're at the Calacirya now, the passive light, the point, the path to the west on this map is leading up the Hill of Túna, where Tirion is, and where the caves of the Forgotten are obviously underneath the hill. And the closer you get, the more the potent the evil breath coming out of Riken's mouth is.
Uh-oh. I got the evil in me.
Dude, what did you eat?
Tuna, dude.
Tuna. All right.
Bumblebee tuna?
Bumblebee tuna.
Us? Like, should we
No, you're good.
steer clear?
Well, yes, it will affect you eventually. So I don't
When it gets bad, when it gets bad enough.
Yeah.
Can you open up
So we're.
I can
I moved you.
enter on my character level, please.
So I just moved you to the Hill of Túna. If you look on this map, well, everyone has a computer, so so there is a monument. But not so at the very bottom. So I should say the farthest east that you guys are. You're coming up from the beach. This map is the first map that I've done in 20 sessions that is not oriented correctly.
Second map. It's a ship.
Which ship?
When we were just on, you said we were heading north, but we were heading west, right?
No, that map was fine. So
Damn.
when I was talking to you, I thought you were on a different map because
Oh, okay.
I'm staring at one here on the table. If you look, there's a compass rose on the bottom of this. That's what I meant.
Got you.
So this is the first map that's not oriented correctly, but based on doing the tabletop version, I just put it like this. So this is the Hill of Túna. There's a monument here to all of the Númenóreans slain when they invaded Aman. And you're standing where you're standing. You're standing in basically what looks to be a battlefield, except there's only one kind of people here, and they're elves. And MJ can tell they're Noldoran elves, freshly killed and their bodies steaming. So it's still in there. Some of their armor is still hot. Their weapons are laying at their sides. And you look up the hill and you see at the monument, and you see three creatures standing there. One of them is wraith-like. One of them, let me share with you what they look like. So the one on the far left looks like this.
Don't like that.
The one on the far right looks like this.
I like that a little bit.
The one in the middle, I like that a little bit. The one in the middle looks like this.
Yeah.
And he
Oh,
looks.
really?
He
Do we get to
looks
pick?
Somewhat. What's that?
So do we get to pick? I go on the right.
I'll take door number 3. So if you could look in your lore cards, and Okran and Vic, you probably want to look in your lore cards. Your current session under Turin's allies, and you could tell. You actually recognize. Oh, did I not change the name of?
She doesn't look messed up. Is she messed up?
Does she smell like that?
So first of all, the wraith on the left, Burnham, you would recognize as a what looks to be kind of like a funny looking wraith dwarf.
Badass.
Yeah, and then the one in the middle, Beleg Cúthalion, Okran actually knows from his time in Doriath.
Bro! Where's the lore card?
It should be. Does no one have it? Yeah, everyone should have it. I'll show it to you.
Do I need to
It's
read
called Turin's Allies, yeah. So I would read Beleg Cúthalion if I were you.
Beleg Cúthalion, or Beleg Strongbow, dubbed for his good bowmanship, was a Sindarin elf who served in the army of King Fingal of Doriath. He was a predominant companion of Turnbar. In the dark of night, Beleg rescued Turn from a band of orcs, and mistaking him for an orc, Turn rose up and slew him with his black sword. Well, dude,
So a friend
why is he hanging out with him?
a friend came, probably his very best friend in the world, came to rescue him, and Turin slew him. And this is just one of the many things that Turin had to live with in his life. When I say he lived a really poor life, he had to live with the fact that you actually recognized Finduilas from. You would know Finduilas. It was a princess of Nargothrond. She was another.
Of course I would know her.
Yeah, hey, what happened?
Of course, you probably would know her intimately. But do you want to read Finduilas?
You're like, hey, maybe you looking different. When Tirion came to Nargothrond, this daughter of the king fell for him. When the city was sacked by the enemy, Tirion was caught in a trance of the dragon Glaurung and ignored the cries of Finduilas as she was dragged away by the orcs.
And butchered.
And butchered.
So you're noticing, and you don't know who the dwarf is. Burin recognizes the dwarf as from legends. They were called the Petty-dwarfs. And I'll just read this to you. The Petty-dwarfs were a diminutive race of dwarves that lived in the Beleriand region. That's the part that's now sunken. In Middle-earth during the First Age. Mîm was forced to share his home with Turin and his outlaws, and he and his family were all killed during that occupation. So all of these people, you're noticing a connection here. All of these people were somehow negatively influenced by Turin just being around them. And they've all been brought back to life and are standing in front of you.
Hola!
Hey there.
You don't see Turin.
So she and I went out, right?
But she would remember you, yes.
Yeah. Remember that time?
You know
You're gonna
that.
say that, be like, hey, you remember that time?
That time by the bridge?
Yeah.
The one you were dragged away and killed?
No, not that time.
I freaking
A
knew
couple
it.
of nights before that.
And so Josh is already shooting.
Am I? Sorry, I may have rolled a skill. Sorry, I just figured out why my AC is so low
Now's not a bad time to roll.
because I never put the AC for my boots on there. They're +2.
Cool. All right, so let's go ahead and roll turn order.
Did I just roll turn by
I'm
accident?
not saying anybody needs to attack anybody or anything.
Great.
We're just gonna take turns pretending to.
Mm-hmm.
A bunch of freaking skeletons around us, man. Some shit's gonna go down.
If we can make our physical map match our virtual one, that would be great. So let's have everybody arrange the virtual map
Nice.
where you're standing when you come into this map. You're facing due west. The Pelori Mountains are sort of down at the bottom of the map and towards the top of the map, and you're heading into Amman by walking up. So, Rick,
Dude, you smell, man.
I'm going to give you this. I'm going to give you control over the token,
You give me control over what token?
the evil breath.
Oh, you said I couldn't control it.
You have to move it with you whenever you
Oh,
move
okay.
it comes with you.
I
And
can fully get
if
the
anybody
control.
starts or I should
Go
say,
back to the boat.
if anybody ends their turn in the evil breath, they will take effects of the evil breath.
Including Riken.
No, Riken is unaffected. He lived 60 years in the portal with the shadow, and the shadow just switched it on.
Yeah, great.
Okay, cool. So, John, do you mind, John, taking a look at where everybody is and arranging people? It doesn't have to be exactly right. We're going to go by the virtual space. It comes down to like measuring distances, and if somebody is bitching about, he can't reach me, we'll just measure it online here. All right, and Perrier will go first. So you guys are pretty far away. What is it, like 80 or 90 feet to Beleg? Okran would tell you that Beleg was, that's actually 110 feet. Okran would tell you that Beleg was known as probably, in history, the best marksman ever. Like, ever.
Take him down!
Except he's not holding a bow.
Oh, jeez. Alright.
Is he holding a spear?
He's not holding any
He just
weapons.
has like a bucket of rocks.
He's scratching
A
his
sling.
So let me describe these two. Let me describe these two pictures to you. So, there's the wraith, obviously. He looks like a wraith, and a small one at that. Beleg looks zombie-ish. He's not carrying any weapons. He barely has any clothes on him, and he's like freshly brought back. There's a blank stare in his eyes. He doesn't seem to recognize anyone, including Okrin. He's not holding a bow, so you're not. He has claws, though. You think maybe, I don't know. It's hard to believe.
Dude has claws?
Dude has claws. Now Finduilas, you see sort of arcane energy radiating from her hands.
Right out.
Nice. So that's the scene. You're standing in MJ. I don't know how your character would feel about this. You would know some of the dead bodies. You would recognize some of the breastplates of your fallen comrades. Some of you haven't seen in a long time, but you're basically standing in a graveyard of freshly killed, fried bodies of your people.
That pisses me off.
Yeah.
And so these three did it? I would assume.
Well, it's gotta be.
What are we doing?
We can ask him, hey, did you guys kill those guys?
Who's gonna talk to him?
Beleg appears to be looking at this monument. He's not facing you. Everybody else the other two are facing you. Beleg appears to be focused on this monument and
I'm gonna perception roll.
mumbling something. Okay.
Ooh, good call.
So where are you guys right now? Do you know what's underneath your feet?
Are we on Tuna?
We're on Tuna, but the Caves of the Forgotten are here, right?
Correct, underneath of you. What do you think they want with this place?
They're gonna raise some.
Trying to resurrect all the army.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a possibility. You would notice big lizard-like footprints in the ground.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, no.
I get it.
It's a beast.
It's not a beast.
It's a T-Rex.
Damn it.
T-Rex.
Oh, not performance.
Dragon.
Which dragon, though? What do you thought?
How big are the footprints? Bigger than I've ever seen?
Bigger than your feet?
Well, then probably not in Calagon yet.
Oh, that's less bad.
So everybody, so you guys are rolling performances?
Sorry, no,
Okrin's
I-
playing.
A long time ago.
Starts singing Dust in the Wind.
Was that the Cloud one? Because Tirion killed him before, and all the people he's killed before are coming back.
There's no way we're not fighting
That's
a
the
dragon.
theory. Tell everybody your theory, John. So that
The other three that are here were killed by Tirion before, and Glaurung was killed by Tirion.
I didn't say Turin killed Mîm or
They were
Finduilas.
Or he was responsible for their deaths, he said.
So,
We do.
but that's not Turin.
Turin's not on this map.
No, but the Turin is not Turin. Turin is the shadow. So
So you got to think somebody.
There's some of both who's talking
So
in
he
two
could-
different voices, right?
he could be. They could be his puppets.
He's being used.
After
And
Master.
he's using Turin's life as a way to accomplish this.
It's a really cruel joke on Turin, whatever it is, right? First of all, if you take your life and then someone brings you back, you're supposed to be this person that's going to end the ultimate evil, and they brought you back to do evil, and everywhere you go,
It's fucked up, man.
people that you cared about and who you killed are brought back to serve evil. Like, it's just it's a continuation of his evil, or terrible life, And he wouldn't want any part of it.
He's just
Dude got some bad karma.
did something to somebody in
Yeah.
a previous life.
Yeah, who did he piss off?
Everyone.
Yeah.
Best friend, apparently.
You pissed in the wrong cornflakes.
Beleg would turn around and sort of mid-chant and say, "Welcome, friends.
Friends.
You come just in time to die."
Is that sarcasm?
Oh, man.
Yeah, that was sarcasm.
All right. Well, if
Our master told us you would be here.
So should I just start shooting?
So what I'd recommend is you guys do some talking, unlike what you did during the last session.
Oh, man, let's just stop fighting people.
We can ask him what kind of ritual he's doing.
That's
Spriggs just said something. Say that again, Spriggs.
So we can ask him what kind of ritual he's trying to do, what he's trying to accomplish.
Well, I'm going to ask Finduilas, hey, been a long time. Good to see you. What brings you here?
She says,
You look better.
I'm going to kill him first.
Oh, jeez.
Wait! Like that first time, or this different?
So you're telling me there's still a chance?
Is this different?
So you're telling me there's still a chance?
He's a selfish lover.
Yeah, I have mixed emotions right now.
Did Beleg say anything back? Like if I say, what's he trying to accomplish?
Yeah.
You're gonna kill me like
What'd you say,
first time, baby?
Would Beleg say anything back if I asked him what he's trying to accomplish?
Are you going to ask him?
I'm going to start
Yeah.
playing some Fury right in my heart.
He says, I'm waiting for our army to rise. The master is coming. It's only a matter of time. So you realize what he's doing is not a ritual at all. He's praying.
He's praying.
Oh.
He's praying.
What's he praying to?
Praying that we kill him
His
again.
master-
Ask him who's the boss? Who's the boss? Does he like the mic?
He says, Melkor.
Of course.
Oh,
Is it Melkor?
It's the given name of Morgoth. Morgoth Boglier was the name given to Melkor by the elves. It basically means like enemy of the world, I think. It's a loose interpretation of what it actually was.
Big bag.
He's a big bad mic.
When is Melkor supposed to arrive?
We can wait for him and find out.
How do we stop you?
They're at an altar.
Actually,
It's not an altar, it's a monument to the fallen.
Is he praying
Numenorians.
It's like to the monument?
No.
where's Turn?
He'll be arriving shortly.
Mm.
I think they're coming up. They're coming through the ground.
Do we want to try to make some plea to them? See if there's something else in them besides whatever this is, or do we just go after them?
All right, so you hear Okrin like say some of like the most like you kind of want to like jump his bones a little bit. You're like,
Most
wow,
sexy.
you're very charismatic. Wow, I've never seen Okrin like that.
Can we ask Beleg what happened to Rindio?
You can.
What happened to Rindio?
What was that again? He says that there was sweet revenge issued upon Erendiel.
Well, and Caligon's probably what caused it, but
Cause what?
the fall of Erendio, but I don't know how or why. I mean,
And Caliban caused the fall of Erendiel?
helped open the door of night.
How do you know that?
It's my guess. I'm guessing.
It just says
Destroyed the volcanic mountains this fall.
That's when he fell.
We did. The Caligon destroyed the mountains there when he fell. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what destroyed Melkor's home, his base.
So, yes, I don't know what that has to do with Erendiel. So what Beleg just said was it was sweet revenge what happened to Erendiel.
So I feel like Morgoth or Caligon did something.
So, since nobody figured out what the exact revenge was,
Are we close?
it has nothing to do with mountain range. I mean, the volcano directly.
I mean, does it have to do with who defeated him?
Who defeated who?
Erendiel.
No one defeated
I don't
Erendiel.
know anything.
He was victorious. It said.
But he's asleep, right? Like something happened to him.
No, I mean he was knocked out of the air just now.
Defending the freaking.
But that was the revenge. Knocking him out of the air was the revenge.
But what knocked him out of the air?
Shit couldn't come through.
That's my question.
Killed his ass. Or didn't kill him, right? They can't really kill him. But
Did Caligon knock him out of the air?
Now there's a theory. There's a theory. That would be revenge, right? Because who did Erendiel kill?
And Caligon.
Right.
Caliban, yeah.
There's a theory.
This is a guy running.
And God help you. Let me show you this. I shared this.
there's no pleading with these clowns to do anything other than what they're doing, right?
No, they're.
We've already decided that. We're just
Like,
gonna-
We're awaiting our master continue.
yeah.
My next question is, how does this arrow taste?
If I say anything really heartfelt with the smoke coming out of my mouth, like
You'll be wheezing the whole time.
like you can do this.
Here, let me show you this picture, guys.
Dude's got COPD.
Wow.
So those are the different sizes.
That's a big freaking dragon.
How big is Tessero next to it?
Yeah, it's
Wait,
the
give me the
size.
scale on this. Like,
The size of one of Smog's pubes.
Right.
Wait,
Smog has pubes?
The microphone is.
He's turned into a ginormous penis.
Oh my goodness.
Who's the big one? I thought Glaurung was supposed to be the biggest.
He's the father of dragons. He's not the biggest. He was also flightless. He was the first dragon, the first experiment of Morgoth.
Wow, Smog was pretty big.
you know what would be great if these things had
That is
wings?
massive.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
That is mountain size.
So who's the big one then?
And Caladan.
How big are the
The
footprints
one
you see?
that destroyed the
Is the one
Sure.
footprint the size of
How
your
big are the
hand?
footprints?
down and it
The
destroyed
footprints
the,
are probably the size of 4 people standing in a bunch.
So like 20 feet.
No, these tokens are
10
way too
Fire
big.
Drake of Gondolin.
I'd say the footprints are probably 4 feet across.
So it's like a drake. It's small.
What is, I'm never going to talk. Sorry.
That's a small dragon.
Which of the dragons
Gotta
has
be
a
bigger than
4 foot foot?
What?
Which of the dragons has a 4
Nobody
foot foot?
ever here. Actually, you guys have seen one dragon, and he let you go. His name was Rick.
Oh yeah, I remember
What
that.
is that dragon?
In the Withered Heath.
Oh,
I showed him my sword and he was like, shit. Yeah.
You should. I'll let you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which has been too.
So, Spriggs, you want to share your other theory about
doesn't remember.
where the shadow was heading when he went to the Tower of Pearl?
So when Túrin used the pulls of the Tower of Pearl, he went to Thangorodrim. Because Thangorodrim, which is the place where Melkor Morgoth had his army of Balrogs and stuff, that's where Caladan fell when Erendil struck him out of the sky. So he went there to resurrect Caladan.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I'm assuming assholes coming with the dragon. These shitheads are raising an army of the undead.
So he's going to be kind of like Jon Snow riding on the back of Caladan.
We're not going to be able to cut our way through this entire thing, right? There's got to be something else. You got this ritual. Gonna bind the freaking.
Well, I was thinking of waiting to bind turn.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Not to bind Túrin.
Find the shadow that's
Well, bind the
attached.
shadow that's
Find the shadow to
Yeah.
Túrin.
that's inside
Perfect.
turn, invading them.
It sounds like a great idea. Bind it to Rikens.
What?
Bind it to Rikens, then I'll kill myself.
Who's gonna bind it to your dog?
I'm not killing my dog. I'm not killing my dog.
Why? He's already been dead so
We'll
much
do the
time.
ritual. You can bind the shadow to me, and I'll use that skill to destroy my spear on myself.
That's very tragic. I dig it.
Seems like a good way to get rid of the shadow.
Yeah.
Find it to the giant killer whale's penis.
Yeah.